Like, you know, we've spent a lot of this talking about Toxic, but, you know, Jylex, we might not have seen much of him on the way here, but you know, to be at this point in the tournament, these guys would have had to spend...
so the map's going to be Corrupted Keep.
Yeah, back on Corrupted Keep again, but you know, these guys would have had to beat a lot of opponents to get to this point, so you guys have already won a ton of games. Oh, it is Toxic has gone for Scale Bearer.
The champion select we saw was not the match that we're currently seeing. There is no clutch to be found.
Yeah, he went for Scale Bearer instead of clutch. I think we may have caught the end of champion set, but regardless, both are running Scale Bearer in this first round. Scale Bearer versus Anarchy, one of those characters very susceptible to just being barged into, but good at dodging.
Toxic's in a bit of trouble though, as Jylex doesn't opt to go for the chase. Sometimes players, I mean, like, they have a lot of health to work with, but I think they're just worried about walking into a rocket and giving up a frag almost unnecessarily. Even if they push the advantage, they might get that frag on board. Nice prediction, good patience, waits for it, gets 65 damage on the rocket, 46! And now Jylex is in trouble as well. Heavy machine gun easily going to clean up that first kill.
That actually was a gorgeous recovery from Toxic though, because he actually missed the heavy armor. He wasn't able to pick it up, and Jylex went for that. He smelled blood, he went for the follow-up kill, and Toxic was waiting with a rocket launcher to get that guaranteed damage onto him.
He just caught the respawn as well. I don't know whether he thinks Jylex is going to still be there, but 1 second on the mega health. I wonder if Toxic's aware of it. No doubt we're going to see him go forward. Probably try and take the armor as well. Actually negating them entirely, going in for the kill. And nice.
There he is, the Dire Orb gets him the armor. Toxic very low on health. Oh no, left on 11 health.
Actually getting pushed off that ledge may have been a blessing in disguise! Wow! What a shot!
That was insane, and once again, Toxic finds himself on the brink of death, but able to take that frag in return. Now Jylex finds himself on a fully healthy Scale Bearer, but Toxic is just doing so well with his, well, low on, almost constantly low on health Scale Bearer in return.
Bear in mind that mega health is going to be back. No doubt we're going to see Jylex probably try and take it. Does manage to get it. If he gets this heavy armor here, it's going to be a really good comeback sequence, but does he use teleporter? No. Opts not to go for the teleporter. And there we go, yeah, using that bull rush just to try and get out of there as fast as possible. Definitely not as an attack, just to try and stay alive.
There we go, finds his first LG. We're trading some damage here. Toxic very much low on health right now.
10 HP, that's very dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think there was much way at all he could get out of that one, but goes straight into Ranger here. Jylex now finally has himself a bunch of armor stocking up right now. Oh! He walked into death itself.
Now, bear in mind, Jylex actually on the verge of making a really good comeback. Look at how much health this character has. He just took a 90 damage rocket and it's barely tickled him.
I actually think that in itself is almost like the strength of Scale Bearer. Toxic was ahead this entire round.
Hang on, good rockets.
He literally just walked into the wrong side of town, and that by itself was enough for Jylex to insta-kill him with that bull rush.
Yeah, and he goes in for the armor, try and retreat there. 5 seconds until this mega health spawns, and Jylex actually going to try and really command that. Pops the dual wheel.
Actually, charging, where did he go?
He used the bull rush to try and escape. I wonder if he meant to get the mega health first, but opting not to. Just running away. Just try and get established that space.
Little health Jylex has though, a little bit of armor, but not enough. That's probably death, and it is. Toxic is able to snuff that comeback before it becomes a serious problem.
Could have been actually a really good sequence, to be honest, because he got those 2 frags with the Scale Bearer on the verge of actually making a 1-character comeback when he was forced onto that Scale Bearer at the last minute. But that final fight in the mega health, the second he used that bull rush to sort of go away, give up the mega health, and allow Toxic to stack back up, I really don't think there was much he could do there. However, that's only one round.
Toxic has gone back for this first character Scale Bearer, gets himself... Oh my word, how is Jylex alive?
He is barely breathing right there. He's taken so much damage, and that almost max damage bull rush against an Anarchy on spawn. I mean, you can see the damage it deals when Scale Bearer actually lands the charge.
Insane, and just around the corner, almost like in response to the same thing happening to Toxic before, but resulting in a kill. Jylex able to survive though. Been quite hard to pin down with this LG.
Well, sometimes things to factor in here is that it's Scale Bearer versus Anarchy, right? Where Anarchy is going to be infinitely harder to hit than the Scale Bearer. You know, he's a chunky champion with a big hitbox. Anarchy is the direct opposite of that.
But yeah, the payoff is that reduced health massively. Toxic maybe expecting to go towards the armor there. A little bit of LG, but not too much damage. Only 14 damage going out onto Jylex. Definitely not enough to make him concerned.
Jylex sort of almost second guessing himself. Doesn't want to go through, but hang on a minute. The bull rush again. Cancels it before he overextends a bit too much, I think.
Yeah, I mean, maximizes the, well, minimizes, I suppose, the downtime on the ability itself. Only a 30-second cooldown, so you can definitely work around it.
It's a very generous cooldown, I think. Absolutely.
Mega health taken down. Jylex just popped onto that one.
Manages to catch him. I think the heavy machine gun on this map so effective. It's got the range, it's got the damage, and with no rail in sight, the heavy assault rifle is pretty much your closest thing to a weapon that can snipe from distance.
A very brave decision though for Jylex to go in for that 1v1 there. When Toxic is fully stacked on armor, especially after he's picking up the heavy armor, and to just go for that 1v1 with an LG. Jylex once again found himself very low on health and armor. Toxic with a commanding lead in health and armor. Just general pickups.
He's going to go over the ball rush. Is he going to land a max charge going straight through? No, Rocket jumps up to meet him in the air though.
When he jumps down with the LG, little bit of damage coming out. Toxic running a little bit low on armor, but still plenty of health to work with.
Yeah, just keeping him at range. I actually really like the spacing from Toxic, where he's sort of keeping Jylex at that effective range where he can't LG him because he's too far. However, the heavy assault rifle is going to catch him, or machine gun, I should say.
I see Toxic kind of defending this point when he went to this mega health, I should say, to respawn. He's going to back it up, and we can see just how much health Scale Bearer has. He takes half damage when he's charging.
That's a lot of blue on the top.
Yeah, if he's got 200 health and then he charges, he is almost invincible when he's running through, and as you can get him with something just ridiculous.
Again, being really patient. I mean, again, he's got the champion advantage. We're halfway through this round. It's 5 minutes per round. And with Toxic as stacked as he is, going straight in with a charge, nothing he could do about it, taking so much damage. And I mean, even though he tried to go for the dire orb, there wasn't much he could do to get out of that situation.
Amazing charge they're coming from Toxic. You see just the power, the raw damage it will do when it connects.
Oh, and he's caught him on a spawn. He's going to go for the ball rush, but he's taking so much damage as well. It really was not a good call right there. And that mega health is down for a long time.
Has a couple of health pickups near Jylex, who's actually managed to top himself back up again. Has quite a lot of armor as well. Toxic starting to top up himself as well.
I feel like Toxic almost just has him trapped. There's really no safe place. There's no safe place he can go. And the lightning gun sequence again. A much better round for Toxic this time. A bit slower, but this time around he didn't lose a single champion.
Still, though, it all comes down to that's just Toxic masterfully using this Scale Bearer utility, right? You know, you have the movement, you have the damage. If you can get one of those charges that does connect, oh my word, he's going in aggressive already. Oh, caught him instantly.
Cancels it right as he goes in for the mega health. But because Jylex already had the rocket launcher, he had all the tools he needed to secure that first frag. However, being just as aggressive, going straight through. He smells blood once again, going in with another rocket. Is he going to cement it? No! He runs straight into that gauntlet face first.
Oh my lord, and that's going to do it. That was so unfortunate, but look at the health. Toxic finds himself on 4 HP, minimal armor. Barely surviving, but with the gauntlet arm's length.
He got the swag.
Ran straight into it.
He got the swag. That's all that matters. Gets a rocket once again. Yeah, he hasn't got a lot of health to fight though. I think he really acknowledges that. He's going to get that heavy armor though. Now he's back into the action. Dire Orb as well. Try and reduce damage. You don't want to take needless damage going straight through.
Only a 20-second cooldown as well. You can be quite free with that orb. Oh, wonderful prediction rocket. They're getting that 69 damage. Yeah,
the Dire Orb has one of the smallest cooldowns in the whole game. So it's really effective to use just for navigating the map. You have it back before you know it. Catch him in the air. A little bit of a bad prediction, expecting him to go in front. Instead, he went behind.
Oh, that's a good aggression, though, from Toxic, realizing that the mega health was going to be there. That was sneaky. There's no way Jylex saw him go in here.
There's also almost like something like a Nyx can do, where you can use the ability to sort of re-navigate yourself and go somewhere they're not going to be hearing you. You know, they're not going to be ready for you to be at such a situation, or such a location, I should say, and then they come through and surprise you, and then they just do a bunch of free damage.
Oh, lightning gun basically tickling though at this point. Too much health to work with, plenty of armor too.
He's going to use it aggressively. He goes through again, catching a rocket. And Toxic, 1 round away from taking this first map.
Makes you wonder how different this round would be panning out if he didn't get that blade kill, that gauntlet kill so early on. Jylex found himself there with a lightning gun. Not a lot of places to run though. Toxic trying to cover these escape points. He goes down.
He's met him down at the bottom, taking minimal damage. To be honest, he's no doubt going to go in for the chase. He's caught sight of him. Here comes Toxic on the pursuit.
He's going to know he's gone for that heavy armor though. He's definitely got the health to tank a fight now. Can definitely start to do it in a bit more of an even fashion.
Yeah, I think he was being a little bit aggressive until he really noticed he was going to be down there, baiting him to go towards the mega health. But actually, Jylex just letting him take it.
Topping up on this armor again. Still only 25 though, not a huge amount to work with. It's going to be a little bit at the bottom. Yeah, looks like it.
Definitely ready for the next fight though. That Dire Orb, bear in mind, on top of being like a mobility tool, if the Dire Orb connects, it will do 100 damage. And no matter how tanky you are, 100 damage hurts big time.
Oh, the charge, you can hear it.
I wonder if Jylex actually expected him to sort of like catch him out there in the open, but didn't connect. At the very least, I guess it will reposition him, but charge will be down for a few seconds.
Indeed. That's going to sort of stalemate. Toxic is more than content playing this sort of ranged game, I think. Time is on his side. He has the champion advantage by 1.
Yeah, catching him at range, knowing he's too far away from the LG. Catches a couple of really good rockets. Make that 3. Going straight through with the Bull Rush. Prediction rockets as well. However, Bull Rush is going to reduce incoming damage, but I don't think it matters. The lightning gun again. Toxic very dominantly taking that game 3-0.
And a swift finish as well. Just this is what I was hoping to see, was just that scale bearer, just masterful play.
You were just saying, we haven't seen scale bearer used like to, I guess, like a maximum level, because we'd seen scale bearers on team compositions today. However, it wasn't really like, you know, the deciding factor. But Toxic with that scale bearer just looked completely unstoppable.
He's not messing around. You know, he's got it first. He's making great plays with it. Clearly, is there. I think a big part of it is being, you know, being brave enough to make those hard reads with the ball rush on where you think they're going to be.
Because if you miss the ball rush, you're pretty much point blank against an opponent.
Because if you're just going to use it in the neutral, then you're less likely to actually have it connect. Because obviously they've got. It's a bit obvious where you're going to be coming from, and they can react and dodge out of the way, like we actually saw again.
The very first play, that
game,
sick Noctis rocket jump.
The Noctis dodge with the rocket jump. But if you make that read on, okay, they're going to come out of the teleport now, and you do it, and you do the charge, like we saw earlier on, the damage is insane, and it can just make the difference.
Well, I'm pretty sure I just saw 125 on that Anarchy, and we said, how is this Anarchy still alive? Because you've just been hit by a 125 damage charge.
Actually, it almost gave Jylex a comeback in that round. You remember when he went around the corner as he was doing a ball rush, and Toxic ran straight into him and instantly died, and that alone gave him a temporary advantage.
So, for the final time of this stream, the map being down, or potentially the final time, the map going to Toxic means that Jylex is now in a position where he can choose the map. You know, he can go, right, this hasn't worked out.
Yeah, so first map is predetermined, and then the loser of that first map can then pick the second, and then should they then win, the original winner to choose the map. So you're almost like winning that first game gives that comfort of, you know, even if it's like the last game in the set, if you lose, you will have the option to go back.
Can I say it as well? Shout out to Toxic with the Quake 4 logo as well. I see you.
That's actually a good point.
Man's loyal to his game.
Yeah, man, of course. But then both of them picking up that scale barrier. Definitely looks like a comfortable pick for both of these players so far. And Jylex going for that Ranger. And now Blazkowicz comes out from Toxic this time.
It's, I mean, like, in many ways, Blazkowicz really is that direct answer to someone like Scalebearer. Because, I mean, normally, you know, their ability to tank so many hits becomes a moot point. Speaking of tankiness, Toxic definitely has that on his side. He has Sorlag and Scalebearer on top of BJ Blazkowicz, so he's going to have the damage output of BJ, but at the same time, he's going to have that sheer just survivability with both the Sorlag and the Scalebearer. Now, in this first match, it's no wonder we've seen him go Scalebearer again, because in that first map, he did really well with that champion, looked really uncontested in some of those plays he made. No question that we're going to see it again. Do you think he's going to go with it first again, though?
I don't see why not.
I mean, it worked, didn't it?
Even on the few occasions he lost to Scalebearer in the last map, he was still able to ultimately pull ahead with the victory. So I don't think having it first is really a detriment. It's definitely working out for him well here, but at the same time, you know, I think it's mainly about how Jylex is going to play around it, because one big glaring thing is this is a significantly bigger map than before.
Definitely.
You know, Ruins of Sanath being a lot more open space.
However, Toxic on a rail, though, with,
oh my lord.
He's going to have that now.
Yeah, so Toxic has the rail now, and if any of you guys have watched Toxic play, you'll know that's quite dangerous. He's kind of good with the rail, as I'm sure we'll be able to see in this next map. I hope we see. But now you've got a character with that much natural health. With a rail.
Two characters with that much natural health. So we're going into this final game, potentially. If Jylex manages to take this map, obviously it will go down to Toxic to choose a map, and it will be 1-1. But if Toxic wins this game, he's going to move on into the Sunday
so Toxic
playoffs.
actually starts with Scalebearer, with Sorlag this time, I should say. Jylex with the Scalebearer.
Okay. So you wonder how he's going to approach this match. Historically, throughout this tournament, we've seen players be very careful. Jylex using that charge just to try and sort of guarantee that rail. Make it harder to take damage when you're trying to take it. Actually answering straight back, but Toxic was ready.
Oh, there's that rail. Hits one, hits two, and that's what we're talking about. Venom Puddle and two rails, and good night, Scalebearer. Ranger is now here to play.
Now, Jylex is down to his two slightly lighter champions, although he's taken the Mega Health right here. I mean, against someone who can hit rails as frequently as Toxic can, I'm not sure Mega Health is really going to make that much of a difference when you're playing as someone like Sorlag, who has the health and armor that Toxic has available to him.
Indeed, but we can see he's got a little bit of health there at the top. Chasing him down, hasn't quite got sight of him yet. There we go. Oh, where did his health go? Toxic absolutely shredding him down, and Jylex already onto this Nyx.
Now, actually, for the first time, we've seen Nyx picked last. We've very rarely seen Nyx as that final pick throughout today's tournament. She's historically been picked first. However, picking it last, she has got comeback potential. She's kind of hard to pin down. She's quite a slippery character, especially with that Ghost Walk when she's in like a bad situation. So you wonder if Jylex can put it together. He almost made a comeback in game number 1. Can he do it in 2?
He's going to need to, because Toxic isn't even looking remotely challenged on this Sorlag just yet. And once again, with the advantage, the Ghost Walk is popped. Making a read on where she went, just going to secure this rocket at the very least.
Yeah, 5 seconds away from the Mega Health. No doubt we're going to see Toxic take that, but I think he's looking for the armor first. I think he wants the kill before he wants the health. He doesn't really need the health, does he? Going straight through, lovely rocket jump.
I don't think Toxic missed a rail in that entire round at any point. That is ridiculous.
That was very impressive stuff. However, that is only 1 round, and these maps are obviously a best of 5.
Of course, indeed, but that's it. You know, Toxic looking very confident. You know, he's got a lot of strength in his play, not even taken off the Sorlag at any point. But once again, Jylex goes with that first pick. Scale Bearer into the Sorlag once again. You can hear the charge has been used.
Well, I think the thing about Toxic is that he is incredibly accurate. So when you're going to be as accurate as Toxic is, and then you're starting to favor these really chunky champions, you're pretty much making it so I'm going to hit you with most of my shots, and when you hit me, I've got more health than you have. So I feel like even though you're easier to hit, if you're confident in your execution to hit those rails, to hit those clutch shots, you become such a headache to deal with, especially when Toxic right now is playing as 2 of them.
Of course, but that is just putting it to such good use. Once again, he has the heavy armor. Railgun, 25 shots to go, more than enough to finish this round off. Jylex really needs to make this work. Diorb can see it's down. Another rail.
Unfortunately, Jylex is in a bad situation right now, but it's the navigation, using those rocket jumps to navigate the map quickly. Lands another rail. Can he land an extra one? Going in for the rocket. Doesn't quite land it, but can he finish it? Yes!
I need to check something. What is his hit ratio?
87%.
87% accuracy on this so far. That is absolutely insane. That is 7 out of 8 shots he's hit so far. That is ridiculous.
I mean, we just say Toxic hits his rails. Now Jylex once again down to his final champion. Oh, almost. Actually, I feel like the terrain actually might have gotten in the way of that one.
Oh,
the Ghost Walk
comes through.
Yeah, the Ghost Walk is going to negate the asset. He goes straight through. Can he finish it?
Oh, misses that clutch rail. Think I might have jinxed it.
Commentator's curse in the business. So you can get access to that spit again. But the thing is, when Sorlag is the champion you pick first, and the opponent has to make a comeback against you, if that fight is close, and you manage to land any of that acid spit, I mean, it's almost impossible to make that comeback. You're losing damage, and then on respawn, you can still see where the opponent is. I feel like we may see a bit of a ambush here.
Maybe you can tell he's on the trail.
Not quite. Didn't manage to get away.
There's a big hunch where Jylex is going, but even then, Toxic with a massive champion advantage right now, but still content on rushing Jylex down.
I do feel like Jylex has somewhat of a mountain to climb with the comeback that is required in this round. He has 2 majorly tanky champions. Again, he's using his Ghost Walk. The Ghost Walk is keeping him alive right here, definitely. When he knows he's in a bad situation.
That's what you pick next for, right? You know, you get that, not that get out of jail free card, but that, you know, that good escape. It's quite hard to chase down. You have to make a very hard read on where she's gone.
Well, it's an insurance policy, you know. If you're in a bad situation, you can pop it, but that said, Toxic is really starting to sort of predict the movement. He's starting to read where Jylex is going to come out of the Ghost Walk. Right there. I mean, that was actually a confident read, actually, expecting him to be around the corner. Unfortunately, he does actually lose his ability because of it, but I don't think it matters. He's going to land so many of these rockets into a rail, and just like that, Toxic is on match point.
Absolutely insane stuff. Toxic, just again, not being forced off this Sorlag at any point. You can just see the confidence this guy. And he was looking really strong on Scalebearer before. Again, really coming down to why it's important to play multiple champions in this game, right? You know, having that confidence to play on multiple ones, just so you have that roster. So we didn't even see Sorlag last time. Oh my lord.
That was a bold decision, actually. Toxic completely negated the Mega Health to go straight down. He goes, if I'm near the Mega Health, Jylex must be respawning down near health, like heavy armor. He went straight in for the attack.
Paid off for him though. Jylex misses that rail, hits that one though, but still 125 natural health.
I mean,
tank a couple more.
Yeah, he can tank a couple more of those. Can't take any more, but at that point it didn't matter. He had plenty of LG ammo good to go, and already Jylex is forced onto his Ranger.
Indeed, that Scalebearer is out there. That could be the last time Jylex gets to use Scalebearer. So he hits a rocket on the way up. Toxic knows he doesn't have a huge amount of health, so he's going to get away from there. Take that poke damage with him. Jylex wants to deal with it.
Now the Mega Health is going to spawn, very easily taken by Toxic. Jylex again in a bad situation. Very risky trying to sort of fight a Sorlag of this caliber when he's got this much health stocked. He just needs some armor and he's good to go.
But just look at the confidence in Toxic's movement though. He knows exactly where he wants to be. Just so fast, so clean. There we go, there's that heavy armor once again coming through, fully stacked now. You know, if Toxic's looking for a fight, it's probably going to be now.
I like this sort of aggressive approach Toxic has taken to the round, though, because he knows that if I match point up, my opponent might be nervous, he might be, you know, not tilted as such, because I think Jylex, he's
stressed out.
Well. But if you can amplify that stressful situation by being aggressive, the second the round starts, and he's already a champion down, it's a good decision by Toxic.
Don't forget, we're only a mere 1.5 minutes in, and Jylex has already lost the Scale Bearer. So, you know, he's definitely not going to be super comfortable with that situation.
But Jylex can't really fight this, but he's going to try. It actually just picked up the heavy armor. I wonder why he stayed. The anti-spit comes through, and his health gets melted. With Jylex now, Nyx, this is his final chance. He either makes a comeback now, or he has to try again.
There's the Ghost Walk. Is he chasing her down? Oh, she went left, he went right. She zigged, he zagged, and she gets out of there.
I wonder if it was enough. Ooh, misses the airborne rail. However, Jylex still unbelievably weak. Misses another rail, but does it matter?
Ghost Walk is down, and there we go. Toxic, with that last tracking, the LG is able to secure himself a spot in the Sunday playoffs.
Really well played. Really, really well played. But I mean, it was just... it was pretty much what everyone expected to see. It was, you know, really, really good accuracy on things like rails, good tracking on lightning gun. But you know, it was the use of the tanky champions, and it's something that Toxic really, you know, really likes to use. You know, throughout the night, we've seen people go with the small champions in their respective teams. It's been Nyx and Anarchy together, or it's been Nyx and Blazkowicz together. Toxic just went, you know what? I'm going to play this game my own way. I like these chunky champions. I like the health they have, and I'm confident that with my own accuracy to land the high, the ability to land high damage all the time means that you've just got more health than the other guy has. As you can see here, just a very comfortable performance from Toxic. That right there was just rude. That was just a rude play.
It was effective play, that's the one.
He just flew straight into it, face first.
There you go. I mean, that's it. You know, Toxic just looking so capable in so many characters. And again, here's that rail, taking down damage back to back, and that was, I mean, that was first blood of that round. And that was just setting a precedent to how many rails he was going to hit in that round alone. But Toxic will be joining the likes of Noctis and Cypher on the Sunday playoffs. We do, I believe, very nearly or almost now have our top 16 set for Sunday's matches.